Some moments ago, President Trump revealing the U.S. is in peace talks with, quote, new and more reasonable regime members, while warning all their power plants will be destroyed if no deal is reached. This is the potential Houthi threat to shipping in the Red Sea could send gas prices higher. So what is the administration going to do to lower costs? Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has that job and joins us now. Great to see you, Mr. Secretary. Brian, good morning. Good to be with you. So first off, there is some movement on the Strait of Hormuz. You said 10 ships yesterday, 20 today. Yes. Your thoughts about how that impacts oil prices? Again, any supply is helpful, and we want to get back to normal. The market is in deficit about 10 to 12 million barrels a day, and we're making up for that deficit. We've supplied. There was the largest strategic petroleum release in history. The IEA coordinated 400 million barrels, and that's going to be about 4 million a day toward making up the deficit. We've unsanctioned Russian and Iranian crude that was already on the water, but no extra money for either one of those regimes. So the market is well supplied, and we are seeing more and more ships go through on a daily basis as individual countries cut deals with the Iranian regime for the time being. But over time, the U.S. is going to retake control of the Straits, and there will be freedom of navigation, whether it is through U.S. escorts or a multinational escort. So are you concerned at all about the Houthis getting involved? They shelled Israel with two rockets. You worried about the Red Sea? Not as much. The Houthis have been very quiet so far. I think that the shelling was Israel specific. This time last year, we had a bombing campaign against the Houthis, and they've been pretty quiet so far, and I would expect them to likely remain that way. All right, let's talk about something to cover the New York Post today, and it's something that really means a lot to you. Cracking down on fraud. We know the vice president's been giving that task, but now you say, Uncle Sam needs you, is how New York Post interpreted the interview you gave them yesterday. You're actually asking the American people, if you know of fraud that's going on as substantially, come forward, you'll be rewarded. So, Brian, President Trump started this early on in his second term. Vice President Vance has been given the task of accelerating this. And it's almost like a suitcase in an airport. If you see something, say something. The financial institutions, because of President Trump, Vice President Vance's leadership, and Treasury's actions, we have seen financial institutions now filing what we call suspicious activity reports, SARs. That's up 20%. Because they are the front line in identifying financial fraud when nonprofits, whether it's daycare centers, hospice care, when they start wiring big round numbers out, that's a problem. There are large multinational criminal organizations that are doing healthcare fraud. So we are all hands on deck, because this is money that is not going to where it's supposed to go. But more importantly, it's being stolen from the American taxpayer. We need to be a high-trust society. We need to understand that this is where the money is going. And this administration, this could be hundreds of billions of dollars in recouped money. And again, the programs are supposed to go to those in need. So tips for a Medicaid and Medicare ripoffs have given, you're talking about tuna, $70 billion per year. We saw that $9 billion going over to Somalia from Minneapolis. And then we see it's even a bigger story in California. You just got this job a year or so ago. Did you have any idea that this was happening at this rate? Yeah, it's one of those things that you thought it was on the margin, but the scale of this is unbelievable. I didn't know other countries were involved in it. Oh, yeah, no, these are transnational criminal organizations. In South Florida, there's a huge amount of the medical fraud, and it's Cuban transnational gangs, huge amount in Los Angeles, and we're going to crack down on this. And it's been going for so long. And Brian, a lot of this is a result of during COVID. Many of the agencies under the Biden administration gutted their fraud departments, the fraud detection, or took down the fraud detection to get the money out quickly for COVID relief, but they never brought back the guardians of our money. So that we have to have integrity in these programs. And the important thing, Brian, is transparency, because many states are not transparent. Right. So we are going to start pushing for them to be transparent. The New York Post they have been working on waste, fraud, and abuse in New York City and New York State, and they are having trouble getting the data. Right? Surprisingly, what we saw in Minnesota actually had very good transparency, and that's why that young man, Nick Shirley, was able to go to all the see the scams, because this is the name of the facility, this is the address, this is how much money they got. Oh, look, it's an empty storefront, there's no one here. New York, California are hiding it. So that we're all in favor of states' rights and states doing more. But the money goes into a lot of these blue states, and some of the red states could be more transparent. And just if somebody wants to be a whistleblower, come forward to get that reward money. Where do they go? They come to the Treasury website. We've gotten over 700 leads, right? Many of them are now active. And so just go treasury.gov, and it's right there prominently on the website, and we can pay up to a 30% reward for the recovered funds. Nice. Lastly, it's people have filed their taxes, come down to their final weeks. What are you finding now is a big, beautiful bill able to produce some of that? He mentioned to me overtime has been very popular. Yet, so it's a great tax filing season. Refunds are up more than 10%. And what we're seeing, Brian, is almost 50% of the tax returns that have been filed have one of President Trump's signature campaign policies: no tax and tips, no tax and overtime, reduced taxes for our seniors on Social Security, deductibility of auto loans for American cars. And the big one, the home run, has been no tax on overtime. 25% of the tax returns that the IRS has received, the filers have claimed that deduction. So we're seeing bigger tax returns. But, Brian, the other thing is taxpayers are going to or have changed their withholding for 2026, and they're getting automatic pay increases by changing their withholding. Wow. So it's all happy right now. Tax season is something to look forward to. The secretary now busy are, and they're going to go out to Nassau County, look deleted for a What could you see? Looking forward to going near your hometown. Absolutely, over in Nassau County, with the Nassau County executives. Thanks so much, Mr. Secretary. I'm Steve Ducey. I'm Brian Kilney, and I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.